Please try and sit still. If you're moving, it really disrupts the class. Does anyone have a question they would like to?
Stuart, do you believe in black magic?
Why should I believe in it? Or what? What kind of question is?
Does it
Look, yes.
exist?
There are dark energies in the world. There are energies of black magic in the world. And it's also a reason why a person has to get really strong inside to develop a chakra system that can transform those dark energies into an energy of a spiritual life. Yes, call it the devil, call it whatever you want, but there are energies like that in the world. I've been up against them for a good part of my life, doing what I do, teaching what I do. And the only way I've been able to deal with them is having built a system inside myself that's strong enough to transform that darkness into my spiritual life. Yes, there's black magic, there's dark energies, there's all that kind of stuff in the world. There's positive, there's going to be negative. And a lot of people follow all that nonsense, They get turned on by the darkness in the world. And I don't understand it. It's never been something I've wanted to do. And I found that in different periods of my life, I had to build a very strong inner life to be able to transform that stuff into what helps me to grow and, helps me to have a spiritual life. Otherwise, it would have taken over. I wouldn't advise hanging out with people that are involved in that crap. It's very dangerous. It's evil. And it really has more to do with controlling people and having power over people, having power that emanates from ego and, that kind of stuff. So yes, it's not that I believe in black magic. I've experienced it, and I've had to defend myself against it. And I couldn't be teaching what I'm teaching today if I didn't build a system inside myself, that was enabled to transform all that nonsense into a spiritual life. Nothing to worry about. But I don't recommend hanging out with people that are involved in that stuff. It's very dangerous stuff. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I mean, the whole purpose of all this is joy, it's love, it's living in the wonderment of life. But in the process of doing that, I mean, there's so much negativity in the world that we have to build a system that can transform all that stuff into love, joy. It's the purpose of it. That's the only real freedom. All the rest of it is just, There are a lot of rings in hell where people will practice those kind of things, all that negativity. Does anyone else have a question?
I have another question. What happens to the chakra system when you die?
I love your questions. What are you worried about? Planning on dying soon?
No.
Don't worry about it. Just keep building it. I mean, look, the chakra system is the essence of the soul force of a human being. The soul force doesn't die. You know, what dies is this body, which is always, you have a lifetime of pain and a body, and one day we're rid of it. And we're here to learn how to transform all that pain and difficulty into a highly developed chakra system that allows us to move on and to eventually become one with higher energy in the universe, free of karma. Chakra system doesn't die. The chakra system is the essence of the soul. What dies is this physical body. I mean, when a person passes on, they're free. The mind stops, the emotions stop, all of that stuff that drives people, it all stops. The soul evolves, and with it, whatever development to the chakra system. And most people have to be reborn again to go through it, to finally get to a place where they truly, evolve and become one with God. Stop beating their brains out, trying to find answers where there are no answers. I mean, love is the answer. Happiness, joy, that's the answer. And to experience that and sustain that, the chakra system has to be really highly developed. I hope this is clear, because Laura, please sit still. Please, dear, sit still. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? And all this stuff I'm talking, all this stuff it's all in this book that I've been writing recently. Does anyone else have a question? So forget about black magic, darkness, negativity. Yes, it exists in the world. And remember, the purpose of life, the purpose of living is to truly evolve in ourselves, to open our hearts and to try to have gratitude and love and to truly live that way. And if you live that way, understand there is no negativity. Yeah, there's a lot of crap that goes on in the world and stuff, but one gets free of it. And even if some negative things happen, the strength of love is much stronger than, and also depends upon how developed our inner lives are. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. If there are no more questions, look, your presence here is a joy for me. Your presence in these classes is making me work very deep on myself to continue to grow, to build connection with God, and I'm just very grateful for that. And I can't tell you how much of a treasure each and every person that comes here is. Something that makes me very grateful to do what I do. And also something that makes me grow. To get closer to God. And that's the whole purpose of being born here, to get close to God. To finally get free of karma and to move on from this place. There's nothing wrong with this place. I mean, when you finally come to the realization that the world we live in is a sacred world. Life is a sacred world. There are many inconveniences, there are many problems, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we live in a place that is a great treasure. The world is a treasure. And it's there to teach us what we need to do to grow and to become one with God. That's why we're born here, to learn how to do that. So don't be upset because there's negatives. No, it's just a reminder, you got to work on yourself. Okay, if there are no more questions, then there'll be meditation on Tuesday. And God bless you all. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.